Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video by yours truly. We've been having a good bit of fun with the top 10 tier list. We did a top 10 bro fell off. We did a top 10 age like fine wine. And now we're going to be doing a top 10 most underrated and or slept on characters in Honkai Star Rail. Next up, we'll be doing top 10 most overrated. But I think this one will be a fun one because ultimately it's pretty much going to shine a light on characters I think actually perform quite well, but most people either don't use them or maybe they skipped them or maybe they just completely forgot about them, but they're actually quite good. As always, we'll be keeping chat to the corner of us so they can participate in this as well. And I am going to bring YouTube chat in as well so you can see what the hell they might be saying. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we got YouTube chat. On the left hand side, it's actually a mixture of YouTube and Twitch, and we got Twitch chat right above my head. So we're gonna have two honorable mentions before we get into the top 10 because we actually are doing strictly a top 10 here. So let's do the honorable mentions. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Hanya is a honorable mention, strictly in tournament format. Every time we ban the best characters, you always see this woman pop up. Her action value manipulation, her skill point funneling, and her physical element, her ability to like give skills while also contributing to toughness break. I think a lot of that slept on. She is a honorable mention. I think she's a pretty decent and underrated character that not a lot of people give credit to. One more honorable mention. I am only giving this character honorable mention because of Acheron. If you run Gwen Ifen with Jiao Shou and Acheron, it's actually one of the most powerful Acheron comps. I shit you not. But it obviously has to be going up against a fire heavy format such as the Choir. Her and Jiao Shou combined are a really good synergy for Acheron, so it's worth honorable mention. Now let's go ahead and get into the actual content. First up, number 10 on most underrated characters. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm actually not the biggest fan of this character, but time and time again I see this character show up in MOC formats, and they pretty much carry a lot of people's accounts, especially people that don't have Argenti. And at times we've come to discover she's doing better than Argenti as a standard banner character. I've probably already put them into your mind. The adorable girl with the cool robot. Yep, you guessed it, Clara. I think Clara is on an underrated and slept on character in MOC, as well as some very niche follow-up attack purifications. But if you play this character, she does a shit ton of damage, and against units that are very aggressive like Hule, she's gonna pop off, believe it or not. Chat, what are we saying over here? Are y'all agreeing with this? Is 10 better or 1 better? 1 is the best one. What's the title of this tier list? It's underrated and or slept on. What are y'all thinking? Do y'all agree with that? Clara's strongest original 5-star. Still my only physical character. She carries so damn hard. I need to build. Yep, 100% agree. Okay, I think her placement is pretty fair too. Like, she's not insane, but she is pretty undervalued. All right, next up on the most undervalued list, I actually do think, I do think Himiko is undervalued. I think a lot of people don't use her, and every time they see a heavy fire oriented format, they immediately think Firefly. But to be honest with you, Himiko cooks with Super Break. She really does. In fact, in this particular format, if you put Himiko up against the fire choir people, she will pop off. You can even zero cycle with her. She can do her Thug Thistle. And I think this is a character that if you don't own Firefly, you will be pleasantly surprised with her performance. Chat, check it over here to see what y'all might be thinking. I still don't have that. Himiko's gotten a lot of buffs. She's gotten a lot of buffs. Indirectly cooking my queen, her value will only go up. Well, it's true with the new character coming around the corners, her value is going to continue to go up. But here's the crazy thing: not only can she do MOC as an erudition unit, she's quite literally meta for pure fiction, and she can even be used in the apocalyptic shadow. The girl's a sleeper. It's really because when you break shields, elite shields, you get pretty much a free follow-up attack, AoE, and it does decent shield breaking damage. I think you can actually pair her up with a Rappa and she pops off. In fact, we actually zero cycle with Rappa with Himiko, but you can even treat her as a standalone DPS. And once you unlock her E1 and her E2, they actually age. It's good. The E1 allows you to still rock an attack percent boot and go twice. And the E2, it gives her more attack percent just for her to do some more damage. Overall, fantastic unit. Moving on to number 8. Number 8 might shock y'all, but I feel like bro is the butt of everyone's joke, but he actually does his job. He does his job well. He's not only meta and pure fiction. If the MOC formats are physical, this man will perform. Now, I know this might come as a joke to people, but Argenti, although bro fell off, although bro didn't fell off because he was never on, he is actually a really good physical unit, and he will clear everything you need him to clear, provided they are weak against the physical element. The problem with Argenti is that bro just isn't that good for MOC. He's just not. There's just too many better options. But if you own Argenti, he's going to get the job done. He's going to do his thug thizzle in the pure fiction, in the MOC, and in the apocalyptic shadow. He's just a bit inferior to everyone else, but I still think he's got a worthy spot on this list. Chat, what do y'all think about this, man? He gets the job done. Let's go. He does. He gets the job done. Starting from the bottom still here. Bro, I can never not laugh at Argenti, bro. Funniest dude. All right, number 7 on the list. We're gonna go with where are they at? Okay, so this character, I think literally is the definition of underrated and slept on. A lot of people confuse them with being attached to Kafka, but in my experience, I've played her with an Acheron, I've played her with a Doctor Ratio, and I've even found myself playing her with like on off like teams, like Yun Li. This character is capable of applying 36% defensive shred if you want to run her with the Resolution Shines as a Pearl. She's capable of giving you an all type res pin if you unlock her E1, and then she has a vulnerability increase when you attack on the opponent's turn with your characters. The supportive infrastructure of her is way past just being utilized in dot. Lately, I will admit, since Jiao Show has come out, actually it's not even Jiao Show, it's the heavy fire induced formats. There's been a lot of fucking fire. Yeah, I haven't seen much usage out of her, but I've used her in like several different compositions and none of them were dot comp. So for that matter, I think a lot of people sleep on Black Swan. I would put her at level 7. Maybe you guys think she's lower or higher, but I personally think Black Swan is a fantastic unit. And if you unlock her E1, her value shoots up tremendously high. It's essentially an all type res pen. It's like Rame's ult. Next up, we're going to number 6, and our number 6 on the list is actually going to be a newer character. I feel she's undervalued just because, one, she's an abundance and most people don't really pull on sustainers as must-haves, but she's already proven to be a very powerful, abundant DPS slash buffer slash sustainer. And I think a lot of people skipped out on her, and her value is going to continue to show itself as the game continues to progress on and drop more super break infrastructure. Linksha is most certainly worthy spot on an underrated and slept on list. Hell, I slept on her myself. I skipped her because I don't necessarily need another sustain. However, today when I was doing Rappa and Firefly showcases, I found myself many times thinking, damn, Linksha would have did better than Gallagher right here. Damn, Linksha would have been better than Gallagher right here. Ultimately, skipping Linksha and sleeping on Linksha, I believe, was one of the contextual situations where she's just in a bad spot. Right after her, we had a brand new character come out that's actually fun, such as Rappa. And then we have, again, Sunday and Fugue coming right after her. And then you have Acheron and Aventurine rerunning in the next patch. So yeah, I feel contextually she was slept on because of the context, but she's a great, fantastic sustainer that I think is going to continue to age like fine wine. Going into number 5. I feel like right after Linksha, this is just appropriate. Now, here's the thing. Some people might think, I don't think anybody's sleeping on Scooby-Doo anymore. But Scooby-Doo was slept on all the way up until Pridewind put her in T0, where she has always been. She has always been a T0 sustainer, and everybody slept on this fucking character when she came out. I would argue she maybe had like 2% of the community actually pulling on her. And she's till this day one of the best sustainers in the entirety of Honkai Star Rail. So I think she is the definition of slept on and undervalued, but I will say today people now come to understand the value of Scooby-Doo. So that's where I would place her. Chat, I'm gonna check over here and see what y'all are saying. Let's go. I have the numbers, picked her up for the energy, was the first main sustain I had. She saved my account. She doesn't synergize with the top DPS comps currently. Well, that's the thing. The meta shifts, right? The meta shifts. Right now, we're in a very heavy super break follow-up meta, which happens to be Linkshuk, Gallagher, and Aventurine. But before this very recent meta, Scooby-Doo was a top pick. So, and even if you go and look at the usage rates, Scooby-Doo remains a high usage rate, even in the fucking super break follow-up prevalent meta we have today. So undervalued, slept on, in my personal opinion. Now we're getting into the top 4. And chat, out of curiosity, who do y'all think my top 4 picks are going to be? I think it's kind of hard to gauge what the top 4 picks are going to be, but I don't know. I'd be curious to hear what y'all are calling out. We got Jade, Boot Heel, we got Pella, we got Rappa, we got Shu Yi, we got Arlon, we got Blade. Brother, Blade is not underrated and or slept on, buddy. If anything, we ain't sleeping enough on Blade. Misha, ain't no way. All right. My number 4 pick is without a shadow of a doubt. It's going to be Jade. Yep. Jade was another character that many people slept on, bro. Literally uncontested. Better. The only character who is like who's like noticeably better than Herta in Pure Fiction. Nobody else is better than Herta in Pure Fiction except Jade. And if you put Jade on your account, not only is she going to handle business on one side of the Pure Fiction without even like you having to stress about it, especially considering you fuckers like to run Firefly just because you want to like blitz through something. It's the same concept with Jade and Pure Fiction, but I also see potential with Jade in the MOC as the game continues to drop more supportive infrastructure. I think Jade's real value hasn't even began to show itself. I think she's also going to eventually pop up on the Age Like Wine tier list down the line. But her E1 is fucking insane. Her E1 brings her value up to damn near like, honestly, it does bring her value up to T0.5 levels. So Jade was severely slept on. A lot of people ended up skipping out on Jade. I don't quite remember the context, but I think she also was scuffed contextually. She had some pretty damn heavy banners surrounding her at that point in time. Was it Firefly, chat? I think it might have been Firefly that was before Jade. It was after Firefly. Okay, that's why. Yeah. Firefly, the most overrated character in the game, scuffed Jade. That's what ended up happening. I gotta piss off the Firefly simps every now and then. Okay, number 3. And I actually debated this. I think this character could be number 3 or number 2. This is gonna be an interesting conversation, but there's only one other character I think that I've seen that people doom posted on more than this character, and that character is number 1. But nobody, I know like she's out right now, but chat, Rappa has been getting diabolical fucking hate. And the bitch, as we already just saw today, just minutes ago, is literally doing better than Firefly in her own format. Like, people like to say that Exo Toughness is benefiting, what's the name, Rappa, but in reality, it's benefiting Super Break characters, period. I think Rappa is easily top 3 most slept on, undervalued units. I'm dead ass. Here's the thing too, because people that are watching this video, they're not going to know the context that you guys just watched in stream. In stream, we just went over to Hule, where we have 0 imaginary weakness. 0 imaginary weakness. This is literally a shit in scuffed scenario for Rappa. There's not a lot of units on the field. There's 2 elites, and then there's a fucking Hule with his tiny little mobs. We got the same exact cycle clearage as a Firefly, both rocking free-to-play light cones. If that ain't the definition of the community just sleeping and just fucking undervaluing the character, I don't know what is. For me, Rappa is easily a top 3, even though she just came out. The amount of shit that I've been seeing about this character in terms of negativity, it rivals the #1 spot. Chat, what are y'all thinking? If Firefly and Rappa are equal in MOC, Rappa's free 40k in Pure Fiction, so she's just the better unit. See, and I think that's a good argument to make. I'm not going to sit there and say that's the only argument to make. I think there's other arguments that can be made. Like I said, people blitzing every single scenario of MOC just because Firefly can implant fire weakness. I think that's something that can't be discredited as well. But yeah, I think Rappa has literally blitzed every mode, including Apocalyptic Shadow. I think I got what is it, 3,500 points? I think I got 3,500 points with her in Apocalyptic Shadow. And obviously in Pure Fiction, she's gonna delete too. And then you got MOC. So yeah, severely slept on character. I think people are changing their minds, but Aventurine Acheron after is a rough thought. I'm not too sure. Okay, our #2 slot. The only reason I put this person in the #2 slot is because people started realizing it after their banner already went by. I think that's the definition of slept on. Everybody started using this person or started realizing this person's value after their banner went by. It's funny because there's a lot of people spamming a character. I think this is going to be the first time me and chat get in an argument. I personally think Boot Hill is severely underrated and slept on, only because people are barely starting to realize his value. He was good the minute he came out, but people didn't they didn't pull on him. Not only did they not pull on him, they were doom posting him too and saying, yeah, he's all right or whatever. So I feel like he is one of the most slept on units in the game. Now here's why I'm probably gonna get in an argument with chat. I don't think it's wrong for you guys to say, hold on, where's this little fucking leprechaun at, bro? Jesus, am I blind? Here she is. She in the back with Amber. Okay, this character here, you can make an argument that y'all think she should probably be up here because a lot of people also skipped her. And she ended up like showing off. I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all, chat. I think this character belongs on the overrated list. All right, I don't think she belongs on the underrated. I think she belongs on the overrated list because everybody thinks this character is like hot shit, but she has been getting the same treatment as Firefly. She's just been getting formats that work perfectly for her. Again, Hule is fucking insane for her, bro. So I wouldn't put this character on underrated. Now, I'm not gonna say that I'm spitting facts here. I'm just saying my personal opinion. She doesn't go on an undervalued list or slept on list for me. She goes on overrated. Now, the MVP of the underrated list. This character was shit on simply because they were a male. And then they were called a side grade to Pella. This character was somebody that was looked at as trash. They was like, yeah, that character ain't nothing, bro. Ain't nobody care about that character. Lo and behold, bro has been aging like the finest fucking wine we've ever seen. He has the highest usage rate, the lowest cycle clears in MOC, and every fucking team is using him. You're fucking out of your mind if you don't think bro doesn't deserve nothing but the #1 spot. That man, with his eyes closed, brother sacrificed himself to Hule only to come back blind. Absolutely insane. The man, the myth, the motherfucking Fox Jiao Show, bro. I don't think anybody would disagree to say that the #1 spot belongs to this guy right here. You might not like him, but guys, that's what peak nihility support looks like. Fellas, you may not want to hear it, but that is what peak male nihility supports look like. Got him and his light cone. My king continues to reign. Bro is such a fantastic unit. I'm serious. He really is, guys. It's the one turn ult going into battle. It's the technique that doesn't involve contact. It doesn't involve you having to hit, right? So he can quite literally be placed on any team. And then it's the vulnerability. The vulnerability affects all damage avenues in the game. Crit damage, break damage, fucking anything, any type of damage factor in the game, vulnerability affects it, and he applies it so comfortably. His break also, bro, even does super break damage because his skill plus his ult is decent damage next to a Ron May. So, you know, you put in all those variables and then he's inflicting crazy debuffs every time the enemy fucking even thinks about going. Debuff inflicted, right? So he's not only best in slot for Acheron, but he's just so versatile, and not only versatile on like a mid level, he's versatile on a fucking high level. This guy is really, really good, and he was worthy of the yap that I just gave him. I think this is my most undervalued players tier list. If you guys beg to differ, comment down below and let me know your thoughts. But that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. We will be doing a top 10 most overrated, which I kind of leaked a little bit of the characters I think are on the overrated list. That one's going to cause a lot of problems, but you know what? Who gives a fuck? Thanks for watching, and until next time.